back in the courtroom. General Audience, goodness.
The state would call Katrina Bean to the stand, Your Honor. Katrina, can you please state your name for the court's record?
Katrina Diane Bean.
And just going to talk a little bit about yourself, your family, before we get started. Do you need a break, let us know. Do you live in Chattanooga?
Yes.
Are you from Chattanooga?
Yes.
Are you married?
Yes.
What's your husband's name?
Gregory Scott Bean.
Do you have children?
I do.
How many? 4. And is one of them Jasmine Pace?
Yes.
Who is Jasmine's biological father?
Travis Pace.
How old was Jasmine in November of 2022?
22 years old.
And can you describe for the jury, just generally, Jasmine's size?
She was tiny. Petite, that weighed 100 pounds.
Where was Jasmine living in November of 2022?
In our pool house.
And where would your house, would the pool house be located?
Our house is right above the pool house.
What's the address?
5977 Old Dayton Pike.
Is that Chattanooga? Was Jasmine working anywhere in 2022?
Yes, she worked for us.
And what is us mean? Can you explain
My
this to the
husband and I have a construction company. She ran our office.
Ms. Bean, you're very soft-spoken. I want to make sure that the jurors hear the witness, okay? Everyone okay? You can't just raise your hand, okay? Thank you, Ms. Bean.
I want you to talk to the jury about what was going on in your family the week of Thanksgiving in 2022, specifically the 21st and the 22nd. Can you talk to the jury about that?
My grandmother that raised me, that's my mom, fighting cancer. Just got finished her treatments and thought it had she'd been in remission and she got sick and quickly, within a 24-hour period, we had to take her to the emergency room that morning of the 22nd. And she died that evening in the emergency room. With all of her family present, including Jasmine and myself.
Was Jasmine close to her grandmother?
Yes.
You testified that Jasmine lived in your pool house. How often were you seeing Jasmine in this period of time?
I saw Jasmine every day, on and off, all day, every day.
Because she lived there and she worked for you?
And we were very close.
At some point after her grandmother passed away, were you not able to get in touch with Jasmine?
Correct. Very next day.
Were you calling her?
I was calling and she didn't answer. I sent messages
Was that abnormal?
to not hear from Jasmine, yes. And for her not to be there for her family, yes.
Did you know if she was seeing anyone in terms of a dating relationship?
Yes.
And who was that person?
Jason Chin.
And to your knowledge, what was their relationship at that point in time?
They're getting to know each other. She wasn't ready for us to meet him.
So you had never met him?
No,
She had never brought him to the house?
no.
Was she private?
She was.
So, when was the last time you saw Jasmine?
November 22nd, 2022.
Do you know about what time, what day she left your house for the last time?
It was about 11 o'clock at night, I guess.
What caused you to finally take a step to go to Verizon to see if you could check her cell phone records?
Objection. Lack of foundation.
Lay the proper foundation.
You testified that you could not get a hold of your daughter?
No,
Did you try on the 24th?
yes.
Were other friends and family trying on the 24th?
I'm not sure. I followed up with the friend that I had received a message from. Her phone line saying that she was going to be with, and couldn't get a hold of her, so I got a hold of her grandmother. Said that Jasmine had not been there for Thanksgiving. And a friend reached me and said that she hadn't heard from Jasmine, that she had not been up there, and I was immediately concerned, and I went to Verizon to see about her phone data, if I could locate her. I seen that there hadn't been any activity on her phone for several days, and so I bought a cheap phone in Verizon and had her phone line put on it so that I could get messages that sign into her car app.
Okay, let's pause there, because we just testified to a lot. So you testified just now that you learned that Jasmine was not with her friend who you thought she could have been with. Who was that friend?
Emma,
And how did you know that?
because her grandmother and her both said that she wasn't there with them.
Why did you think that Jasmine would have been with Emma?
Because I received a message from Jasmine's phone on the 23rd, which at the time I didn't pay attention to the wording, because I was so upset about my grandmother. But on the 26th, when I started getting really concerned, I went back and I read the text again, and the wording said, I'm going with my girlfriend, Emma, to spend Thanksgiving in South Carolina, which Jasmine wouldn't have texted me introducing Emma as her girlfriend because I knew Emma. Emma had spent lots of time around me. So there would be no reason for Jazzy to introduce her that way. That was odd. And then also, I was almost certain that Emma's family is from Kentucky, not South Carolina.
Did you reach out to Emma's family?
I did, with her mother.
And what did you learn?
Jasmine had not been there with her.
Was that really what sparked your significant concern that something could be wrong?
Yes.
And so then you testified that you went to Verizon, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, now, so let's slow down. You went to Verizon and did explain to them what you asked for them to do and then what Bryson was able to do with Jasmine's phone.
So I logged into our account because Jasmine's phone line is on our plan. And I looked at her activity on her phone line, see if calls made out, calls coming in, text message, if there was any data activity, anything. And there hadn't been for several days.
Okay. No calls? No activity on apps? What is the My Chevy app?
It's an app that tracks your vehicle's movements.
What kind of vehicle did Jasmine drive?
A Chevy SUV.
Okay. And is My Chevy something that comes with the vehicle?
It is.
With every Chevrolet?
I'm not sure.
You knew at that time that it came with Jasmine's stuff?
Yeah.
Were you involved in purchasing Jasmine's vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And so, what did you do to log into the My Chevy app?
I had her phone line put on a different phone that I had to confirm the text. You get a confirmation so you can log in.
Okay. And what was the point of looking at the My Chevy app? It might seem obvious, but what was the point?
So I could locate her car. I couldn't locate her, hadn't talked to her, found out that she wasn't where I had received a message saying she was going to be or who she was going to be with. So the next thing would be to find her car, and maybe I find her.
And did the My Chevy app show that she left your house on November 22nd, 2022?
It did.
And did it show you a destination for her vehicle on November 22nd, 2022?
It did.
I'm going to show you two separate pictures and just ask you to look at them for a second. Do you recognize those two pictures?
Yes.
What is that?
This is from the My Chevy app, a map and then a timeline of her car's movements on November 22nd at 11:27 p.m.
And do these photos accurately represent what you saw when you pulled up her My Chevy app on November 26, 2022?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that this be State's Exhibit number 1. It's 2 pages.
Any picture?
There you go.
Exhibit 1.
Permission published. All right, so I know that this is strange where you're sitting, but this is going to be behind you, so you can sort of turn and also talk to the jury at the same time. So Chevrolet Smart Driver, that's sort of how we know it's a Chevrolet, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and then November 22nd, 2022, that this reflects the time that her vehicle showed?
Yes.
Okay. And you see this black dot up there?
Yes.
What does that represent to you?
That is the area that my house is at.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. The second page of State's Exhibit 1. Does it show you the address from which the vehicle left and arrived?
Yes.
And can you read that address out loud?
5977 Old Dayton Pike.
Okay.
That's my address.
And then destination?
The 108 Tremont Street.
Did you know at that time what was at 108 Tremont Street?
No.
Did it mean anything to you?
No.
Do you recognize those two documents?
Yes.
What is that?
Also another map and timeline of her car's movements from the app.
Okay, and is that an accurate reflection of what you saw on the My Chevy have attached Jasmine's car in November of 2022?
It is.
Your Honor, I asked this mistakes exhibit number 2. It's a 2-page document.
Exhibit 2.
All right, so now we pull this up on the screen. This black dot down here, what does that mean to you?
That's where her car started.
Well, around, and you can look at state's exhibit number 1 if you like. What approximate location do you recall? What approximate location was that?
Tremont Street.
Okay. And then, can you see here where that, do you see what that little black dot says? Can you read that? Would you agree that it says start? Here it is. Would you agree that it says start?
Yes. Yes, it says start.
Okay. And so this is November 23rd. This is the next day, right?
Yes.
And so what does that black dot say?
That's where the vehicle stopped.
Okay. Next page here. This will help you a little bit. So the My Chevy app showed that on November 23rd, 2022, a vehicle started at 108 Tremont Street
Yes.
and then ended just a few minutes later, arrived rather at 900 Mount Creek Road. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, Miss Bean, based on this, what did you and your family proceed to do?
We went to 900 Mountain Creek Road
Why?
because that's where her car was last.
And at this point in time, who was with you?
My husband and I believe my Jasmine's sister, Gabby, had met us there. I don't remember when she arrived. My oldest son,
Okay. Is that it?
I think so.
What was located at 900 Mount Creek Road?
My daughter's car.
What area was that
It's apartment buildings. It was in the back corner of the apartment buildings.
When you say it, you mean her vehicle was?
Yes.
So, explain to the jury what you did when you arrived at 900 Mount Creek Road. What did you and your family proceed to do?
We told the police.
After you found her vehicle,
Yeah.
did you fairly quickly find her vehicle?
Yes, it took us right to it.
The My Chevy app took you right to it?
The address on my Chevy app.
Took you right to her vehicle?
Yeah.
Was anybody in her vehicle?
No.
Were the doors locked?
Yes.
And then you stated that you called the police.
Yes.
Did the police officer come to 900 Mountain Creek Road?
Yes.
There are 4 photos here, Ms. Bean. I would just take a look at those. You recognize those photos?
Yes.
What's depicted in those photos?
My daughter's car is in 2 of the photos, and my husband and I are in a photo. And on another photo, you can see Jasmine's sister, myself, talking on the phone to Jason Chen, and my husband also in the corner talking to the officer.
And do you know if these photos are from a body camera from November 23rd, 2022?
I'm assuming.
Okay. Was that, are they taken from the point of view of the officer to your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. And does it accurately reflect what that apartment building and that parking lot looked like on November 23rd, 2022?
Yes.
I'd ask that these 4 photos be taken exhibit 3 today.
Are they separate photos?
There are 4.
Okay, can we mark them separately? I think it's easier for the Unless that will mess up your presentation.
No.
Okay. Exhibits 3, 4, 5, and 6. One mark this. Go ahead.
Sure.
Does it matter what order?
Yeah.
You know, you can refer to the exhibit number when you're talking.
Yes.
Jurors, you will be able to take these exhibits back to the courtroom with you, so when you hear a witness or you're talking about exhibit 3, exhibit 5, make a note of it. It'll make it easier for you to refer to the juror. Thank you, gentlemen.
Behind you, Miss Bean, you will see State's Exhibit number 6. Is that yourself in the white t-shirt?
Yes,
Who is that next to you?
my husband.
And I'm going to have you with this pointer here. You can see that red is a button. If you can point out Jasmine's vehicle.
Right there.
Okay, and that is the white Chevrolet. Okay. Then,
Also, right there, Jasmine's vehicle.
okay, State's Exhibit number 5 is what the witness is looking at, and that, again, the closest vehicle to us, correct, is Jasmine's vehicle.
Correct.
All right. This would be State's Exhibit number 3. Describe who we see in that photo.
That is Jasmine's sister, Gabby Pace. That's myself. That's my husband.
Okay. One more photo, and then I'm going to go back to this one. I'm sorry. I think we have 2 of the same exhibit, Judge.
If you call exhibit 4 a duplicate, then
Yes, Judge.
exhibit 4 is
Exhibit
duplicate.
4 is a duplicate, Judge. Okay. Katrina, did you,
Are we eliminating that exhibit or?
It's exhibit 4, so we can refer to it as exhibit.
Okay, I just want to make sure I keep this.
combine those. Do you know anybody that lives at 900 Mount Creek Road?
No,
Did you ever know Jasmine to visit 900 Mount Creek Road?
no.
Did you knock on any doors that night?
We knocked on so many doors. The apartment complex is large, but I can't tell you how many doors we knocked on.
Did you learn anything significant?
No.
So you testified that in one of these photos, which is the photo that's on the screen behind you, State's Exhibit number 3, that you were on the phone with Jason Chin.
Correct.
Why did you call Jason Chin at this location?
I actually didn't even realize it was him at first. I had her call log that I had just gotten from Bryson and going over and seeing who she talked to recently. And so I was just calling the numbers on her call log.
When was the last time that she had talked to this number that you called?
The night before the 22nd.
And do you recall, based on her phone records, for how long that conversation lasted?
Yes, it was 71 minutes.
So, to be clear, when you called Jason here in this photo that we're looking at, you didn't know it was Jason Chin?
Not until he said his name.
Had you spoken to him before this moment? And you said before he said his name was Jason Chin, did he verify that it was Jason?
Yes.
Did you ask him when the last time was he saw Jasmine?
I did. I started off with letting him know that she's missing. If he wanted to know if he had any idea where she would be at, because they were dating, and asked when he last spoke to her, how did she seem. I don't remember what all I asked him, but those were the,
Did he seem concerned?
no, he didn't.
And he said that he hadn't spoken to her. When was the last time he said he spoke to her?
I don't remember what he said. I remember that it was a lie. I had him on speakerphone. But I don't recall what he said.
Did he admit to talking to her on the 22nd, when you asked him when the last time was that he
I
spoke to
think
her?
from what I can remember, he changed his story and said, oh, I did talk to her. And I asked for how long, and he had said just a few minutes, I believe. And, you know, I muted the conversation and asked the officer, you know, should I confront him? He has just lied about multiple things. I have the proof right here. And that's what sticks out to me.
Did you confront him?
I did.
And what did he say?
That he had to get off the phone. He was at the airport.
Did you ask him where he lived?
I did ask him where he lived.
And what did he say?
500 Tremont Street.
Did he ask you any questions
No,
about Jasmine?
no,
Did he ask you any questions about what you guys had done to find her?
no,
Did he offer his assistance?
no.
So, do you recall the name of the officer that came to Mountain Creek Road?
Pierre, I believe.
Okay, and describe to the jury how helpful, in your opinion, Officer Pierre was able to be.
He took a report, gave me a card, said that he would pass the information along to a detective that would be assigned. You know, I would probably hear from them in 24 to 48 hours. And that's really all he could do.
He, do you recall if he was gonna go to 500 Tremont Street to see if Jason was there?
I asked him to follow me, and he said he could not do that.
Okay. Do you recall if at any point in time while he was there, he tried to contact another, potentially an investigator with the Chattanooga Police Department?
I don't remember. I was on the phone with Jason Jim.
Did anybody else from the Chattanooga Police Department come to Mountain Creek Road?
I do not believe so.
At Mountain Creek Road or soon thereafter, did you receive a call from anybody from the Chattanooga Police Department?
No,
No investigator called you to follow up?
no.
So did Officer Pierre leave Mountain Creek Road?
Yes,
When he left, were you still there?
yes.
And what did you proceed to do?
We called a tow for our daughter's vehicle to get towed to our house. We continued knocking on doors, showing pictures of my daughter, asking if anyone had seen her. We talked to the security officer at the apartments to see if he could help us with footage, since we knew the timing when her vehicle entered there, so we could see if Jasmine was driving the vehicle, so we'd know where to start looking. We started calling friends and family, asking for help to look for her.
Let me pause right there. Did you speak with the security officer at Mountain Creek Road?
I did.
Do you recall his name?
I do not.
That's okay. Did Officer Pierre assist you in contacting that security officer? Do you recall?
I'm not sure.
Okay. But you did speak to the security officer on this night?
I did, and then he actually called me back, and we went back there to look at security footage after he was able to get it.
And did you view that security footage?
I did.
Did it show your daughter's vehicle arriving at Mountain Creek Road?
It did.
Did you see he was inside?
No, you couldn't tell.
Okay. All right. So back to what you all did after that. Stayed at Mountain Creek Road, you talked to the security officer. At what point did you leave Mountain Creek Road?
Shortly after that, we went to 500 Tremont Street.
Why?
Jason Chin said that's where he lived.
What was at 500 Tremont Street?
It was a abandoned house that was under construction. We spoke to some neighbors, asking, showing Jasmine's picture and asking if they had seen her.
Did you go other locations as well after you left Mountain Creek Road?
I did. By this time, there is multiple people sending in messages to Jasmine's best friend Bailey, and about where he possibly lived, people that had worked with him.
You say him, do you mean Jason Chin?
I do.
Okay.
I remember we went to a Mr. Burrito downtown because I guess above there was apartments that somebody called in and said that he lived there. He did prior to live there, but it wasn't there no more, so we just kept going and looking at any place that,
And who all was with you? Did anybody else join the search party? Is what I'll
yes,
call it?
Travis Pace and his girlfriend Jackie, I'm not sure of her last name.
Travis is Jasmine 5 hours before.
Correct.
Anybody else?
And his girlfriend at the time, Jackie. And then later on in that evening, a friend of ours, Wayne Tubbs, had joined us too.
Okay. Is there anywhere else throughout the night that you went looking for Jasmine before you arrived at 110 Tremont?
I don't remember everywhere that we went. It was, I had slept a couple of days and we were just searching everywhere. Once the security officer for the apartments had got back with us, we were, at one house we just spoke to Shin's parents, which they just said, don't call back again. And we went back to the apartments to view the security footage. And while doing so, I looked back at mine and her messages.
You and whose messages?
Mine and Jasmine's messages.
Okay.
And seeing that she had sent me a pin drop, her location. And that's why we went to the 110 Tremont.
What caused you to look back at your and Jasmine's? And when you say conversation, do you mean your text thread?
Yes, our text thread.
What caused you to go back and look at that?
I don't remember. We were trying to get the footage working at the apartments with the help of the security officer. And I went on our thread and I seen it, and I didn't notice it before because I had sent her a pin drop on the 22nd because we normally had been taking my grandmother to the hospital downtown, and we didn't that day. And so I had sent her a pin drop showing her what hospital we were at. So, and I didn't notice that she had sent me a pin drop because I thought it was my pin drop I had sent to her.
Objection. Just
I want to clear something up. Katrina, when you say that you located a pin drop, which is basically location sharing, you said from her and Jasmine, you don't actually know whether it was her or not, but it came from her phone, is that
Correct.
correct? So you can't testify whether or not she actually sent the pin drop.
No,
But did you have her number saved in your phone?
I do.
And did it come from what
Her
was
phone line,
her
yes.
phone line? Okay. And do you recall approximately the day and time that that location was shared from that phone with you?
It's November 23rd at 2:18 in the morning.
2:18 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a pin drop, coordinates from the message.
Does that accurately reflect what your phone showed when you clicked on that location that was shared with you?
Yes.
And was this photo taken by the Chattanooga Police Department?
I'm not sure.
Is that a picture of your phone?
It is.
Okay. Your Honor, ask this be state's exhibit number 7.
Any objection?
It could be 1, I would say this could be 1, Judge, they go together, so 7.
Good, so,
All right, so just, while you look at the screen again. Is this what was shared with you from your daughter's phone?
Yes.
Okay. And is that another photo, when you click on that location, is this another photo that comes up?
Yes.
What is, where this red is, what is this building?
Apartment complex, Jason Chandler's.
So, when you saw this location that had been shared with you, what did you do?
We leave, if we go to that location.
Same people with you at this time?
At the moment, it was just Gabby, Travis, Jackie, and myself. Wayne Tubton met up with us later on in the evening, after we got there.
What was your reaction when you saw this location drop?
I was scared, because that was not normal. Jasmine had never sent me a pin drop location in the middle of the night.
At the time that you saw the location drop, did you know of anybody that lived or
No,
frequented this building?
no.
So you traveled to this location, do you recall what the address was?
I believe it's 110 Tremont Street.
Okay. And it's an apartment building, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And then have you turn around. Katrina, I just pulled up Google Maps, okay? Anyone can access this. Do you recognize this location?
Yes.
And what is this?
That is the apartment building that I found my daughter's stuff in.
Okay, and do you recall when you got there, if you entered into a particular door that you can see in this photo?
I went into the door right there.
Okay. Let's see, the door, you're pointing to the only door you can see in this photo, is that correct?
Correct.
Double door.
Mhm.
And then, is this a parking lot?
It is.
Is there a parking lot on the other side of the building?
I'm not sure.
Where did you all park when you got there?
I actually parked right back in that my car.
On the street?
I did it right by the parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's together, and so how did you get into the apartment building?
Actually, a gentleman that lived there had let us in.
Did you tell them why you were there?
Yes,
And then what did you proceed to do in the building?
we knocked on every door. We were also trying to follow the coordinates with our phone to guide us to the coordinates that was sent to me.
What were you asking people when you knocked on their door?
If they had seen my daughter, showed them pictures.
And did something cause you to arrive at apartment 210?
Yes.
What was that?
Spoke to a neighbor that told me that
Objection, your side?
It's not going to matter now.
It's from prior hearings, I believe this is going to explain why she did what she did. So for the non-hearsay purpose, shall be admitted to objection. Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to hear the witness describe statements made by someone else other than her. They're not to be taken for the truth of the matter, sir. Only to be taken for the admissibility purpose of explaining why Ms. Bean did what she did. May continue.
So what led you to apartment 210?
the neighbor said that he heard a woman scream within several minutes of the pin drop that I had received from my daughter.
Was
And
he,
from that direction, and Jason's apartment door was the only one that someone didn't answer.
so the person told you that the scream had come from a certain apartment. Was that apartment 210?
It was.
And did you and your family knock on that door?
We did. No one answered it.
Okay. Explain to the jury what you and your family members then proceeded to do.
I got a credit card from my wallet out of my car, and we broke into the apartment. I knew something was too close to when my daughter sent me a pin of her coordinates. The coordinates were almost exact.
Was anybody there?
No,
What did you start doing when you got into the apartment?
we opened up the door and seen cleaning supplies and a notebook. I opened the notebook, seeing that it was Jason Chen's apartment. Opened up,
How did the notebook let you know that it was Jason's apartment?
it had his name on it.
Okay.
Opened up desk drawers, found my daughter's ID and credit cards that I had seen on the counter. A little travel bag of hers.
So you located some of Jasmine's belongings.
I did.
And you mentioned a desk. Where, when you walk in the door to Jason's apartment, can you describe to the jury where the desk was at?
You walk in, it would be to your right.
Okay. And who was it that opened that drawer of his desk?
I don't remember if it was myself or Travis. They were all right together. I took pictures of us entering and took pictures of the credit cards and the ID in the desk.
Do you recognize this photo?
Yes.
What are they?
Jason Chen's apartment door, and right when you first walk into his apartment.
Does that photo depict the desk that you were just testifying to?
Yes.
Is that what you recall looking like on November 23rd, 2022?
Yes.
Your Honor, that's the mistakes next to exhibit.
Exhibit 8. I'm sorry, just the two exhibits.
There are two photos, Judge.
Let's make them 8 and 9. Put these to the record.
marked now as State's Exhibit 9. So, Ms. Stace, you testified to, what is this behind you?
Jason Chen's door.
Okay. And then State's Exhibit number 8. Explain to the jury where we're at in Jason's apartment in relation to the door.
The doors to the left of this shoe rack.
And is that the desk here to the right that you were talking about?
Yes.
And do you recall what side of the desk the drawer was on?
It's just in the front.
And can you describe where in the drawer her driver's license and credit cards were?
Just open the door right there in the corner.
Were they stacked on top of one another? Were they spread out?
I don't remember. I think they were stacked together. Not, firstly, I took a picture of it.
Do you recall whether you saw the driver's license first or the credit cards first?
I do not recall. I just remember seeing my daughter's license and credit cards.
Do you recall seeing the license and the credit cards before or after you saw her other belongings, the bag?
I saw the bag when I first walked in.
Okay. And can you tell her again, I think you said the counter, where was her bag?
It was just a little bag. It's right there in the back left, that counter right there, on the edge of the picture. It was right there on that.
What kind of bag was it?
It's just a little travel bag.
And did you contact law enforcement at 110 Tremont Street?
We did.
Okay. And did patrol come to the location?
They did.
Were they able to help you?
No.
Did a investigator come out?
No.
Did you talk to Zach Crawford with the homicide division?
No.
Did you talk to any detective in the missing persons division?
No.
Did patrol leave that apartment that night without doing anything?
Yes. I mean, they took another report
Told you,
and they talked to the neighbor.
but told you what?
And they passed along the information to the detective that it was assigned to.
Okay. When patrol left the apartment building that night, did you and your family members also leave?
We went down to our vehicles and we waited until the police left.
And then what'd you do?
I went back in
For
to
what?
his apartment
For what?
to get whatever, anything that I thought I could use to help find my daughter.
Were you frustrated?
I was scared.
Did you take items?
I did.
What did you take?
I took electronics, phones and tablets and
How many phones? Do you
notebooks.
recall how many phones you found in Mr. Chen's
There was
apartment?
multiple.
Okay. And what else?
Notebooks. I don't remember what all. There was a.
How many times do you think you went back into Jason's apartment?
Like 2 or 3 times after that. And I took whatever I thought I would have to hire a private investigator for. I don't know, I was panicking. I didn't know what I needed to be able to find her. So I took whatever that I thought possibly I could go through and help find clues about where my daughter would be.
How many times, I'll ask it this way, what period of time was it that you were entering and exiting the apartment?
That morning after the police had left.
Would that have been the morning of November 27th?
Would have been, yes.
Okay. So was it that day?
My timeline kind of, I hadn't slept still.
Do you know what day it was the last time you went into Jason's apartment?
I did not go into Jason Chen's department again after we met with Officer Crawford and
Okay.
was getting some help.
Okay. You're gonna be asked questions, as we now know, about staging crime scene. Katrina, did you have any idea what had happened to your daughter?
No,
Did you have any desire to pin it on to Jason Chen at that point?
I was still looking for my daughter.
Did you ever bring anything into the apartment and leave it there?
No,
Did you take massive quantities of Jasmine's blood and pour it in the floor?
I didn't see any of Jasmine's blood.
You didn't take
I-
anything into the apartment, did you?
No,
Did you move things around so that police would see items in certain places?
no,
Were you concerned at that point about the police investigation?
I wasn't thinking about a police investigation. I was just trying to find her. I was insanely scared that something bad was going on.
At some point, finally, did investigators with the Chattanooga Police Department get involved?
Yes.
What was the first contact you had with them?
Well, Officer Tomlin, I had sent the pictures and the information I had myself and her friends had collected, and he had informed me not to call him on weekends. He would get back to me in normal business hours.
Do you know, Officer Tomlin, do you know what division of the CPD he worked with?
I don't.
Okay, but you talked to him and I'm sorry, continue.
And then after that, Officer Crawford and Emery got involved.
At some point, did investigators with the Chattanooga Police Department come to your home to take photos of some of the items you had taken from Jason's apartment?
Yes,
And to be clear, did you take Jasmine's driver's license and her credit cards from Jason's apartment
yes,
to your house?
yes.
Do you recognize these photos, Katrina?
Yes,
Were those photos taken at your home?
yeah,
Are those photos taken of items that you took from Jason Chen's apartment?
yes.
That you see these four photos, there's four shows of these things, next four exhibits.
10 through 13.
State's Exhibit 13. Katrina, is that your daughter?
It is.
Is that her valid driver's license?
Yes,
Underneath that driver's license, are those her her credit cards that you took from Jason Chen's apartment?
Yes.
Is this a photo of other items that were taken from Mr. Chen's apartment,
Yes.
including that cell phone on top, and it looks like some clothing items?
Yes.
What number is that there?
I'm sorry, that was State's Exhibit 12. Now we are showing this being State's Exhibit 11. More items, again, 4 phones, and then what is this item right here?
I don't even remember, but it looks like a camera.
Okay.
Or a camera.
And was there some type of iPad in this?
Correct.
And these are to the right, some of the notebooks that you took?
Yes.
And lastly, State's Exhibit number 10, this is sort of a further back photo, is that correct? And it shows, again, Jasmine's driver's license and credit card, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you also allow investigators to view and potentially collect items from the pool house that Jasmine was staying in?
Yes.
Describe the pool house for the jury.
Right below our house, in front of a pool,
Their place to sleep.
there is.
Was Jasmine staying there temporarily, or was that her place of residence long term?
She was staying there temporarily
Why?
because we've had been working on the house at the bottom of our driveway. It was almost finished. It was for her.
So she was living in a pool house while her house was being built. Showing the witness 4 photos. Do you recognize those photos?
I do.
What are they?
They're the outside of my pool house and the inside of it.
Were those photos taken the week of November 23rd, 2022?
Yes.
Is that what the pool house looked like at that time?
Yes.
Does it show some of Jasmine's belongings?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that these 4 photos be the state's next 4 exhibits.
14 through 17.
What's been marked as State's Exhibit 14, Ms. Dean, is that your pool house?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 15 is that the bathroom in the pool house?
Yes.
That would have been the bathroom that Jasmine was using?
Yes.
Another photo of the bathroom?
Yes.
To the left is a shower, is that correct?
Correct.
Sorry, this is State's Exhibit 16, and then lastly, State's Exhibit 17, this is a photo of the shower.
Yes.
Would you agree that the item there located at the base of the shower is a toothbrush?
It is.
Is that a toothbrush?
It is.
Let's be clear about something for the jury, Ms. Bean. Police department came to your home on this night, correct? Did you ever go back to Jason's apartment after the police department came to your home on this night?
No.
Why?
Because I felt like they were gonna help me.
Were you aware that a search warrant was executed at Jason's apartment on November 28, 2022?
Yes.
What was the next contact that you had with the Chattanooga Police Department?
I don't remember.
Were you informed that your daughter's blood had been found inside Jason Chen's apartment?
Yes.
Thought I have one, Judge. Katrina, you've been to all the court dates in this case, haven't you?
Almost all of them, except for a couple I had to listen to on live.
You've never heard the defendant admit that he murdered your daughter? Ever?
No.
First time you heard that story was today?
Yes.
Is that what affected you when you were first?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Nothing further, Judge.
How helpful is Officer Pierre at the economic departments?
Took a report and gave me a card.
Do you find the Chattanooga Police Department helpful when you were down the street or at the single view apartments?
No.
You then went from there to Waffle House.
No.
At some point you go to Waffle House.
Yes.
And that's where you discover the pin drop from Jasmine's phone.
To my recollection, no. It was after Waffle House. Waffle House, we called his parents.
But you saw that message and that's what led you to Jason Chen's apartment.
No, I wasn't at Waffle House. I believe I was at the apartment complex when I seen the pin drop, and that is what led us to the apartments.
You were interviewed by police about what happened at Jason's apartment, weren't you?
Yes.
What did you tell the police about how you got inside?
That we knocked hard and that it opened up.
That was a lie.
It was.
And then do you remember testifying previously in this case?
I do.
And just like today, then you took an oath, didn't you?
I did.
You swore to tell the truth,
Yes.
the whole truth,
Yes.
and nothing but the truth.
Yep.
What did you tell this court on how you got, or how you entered into the apartment?
That we opened up the credit card.
Did you say during that hearing who opened the door with the credit card?
I don't remember.
If you saw a copy of your transcript of your testimony of that day, would that refresh your memory?
Sure.
This go ahead and read over your previous testimony and let me know when you have an opportunity or when you're done.
Okay. Did you mean to give me two separate pages that are
Just keeping them
page
together.
28 and 45?
No, ma'am, I just meant keep the top page. But once it goes back, did that refresh your recollection?
Yes, that we entered in.
Who did you tell the court opened the door at the hearing in which you testified?
Travis,
And did you say whether or not you had seen him open the door?
I was behind him. I didn't see him do it, but
Did you not just testify on direct that you opened the door with a credit card?
no, I did not. So there, we went down and I got a credit card from my wallet.
And who opened the door?
Travis opened the door.
And did you see him do it?
I was behind him. I can't say that I seen him or watched him do it, but he was opening it and then we got in, so.
Any questions?
So, feel free to move the court.
Here's page 45. Can you read that and let me know if that refreshes your recollection?
Refresh my recollection on,
How you made entry into Jason Check's apartment?
I already said that we used a credit card and entered his apartment.
And what did you say on that day?
It says right here, you asked, would you remember whether or not someone had to use a credit card to jimmy the door open for you to get in? I said, I don't remember, actually. And I believe that was because you were asking about the next time we got in, not the original time.
Why would you have to use a credit card to get in a second or third time after you've already opened?
Because I'm assuming it was locked.
And so after the first time you entered the apartment, you didn't unlock the door?
Pardon me?
After the first time you entered the apartment, you didn't unlock the door?
Did I unlock the door?
You did not unlock the door?
I don't know. I don't remember the details of if a door was locked or if a drawer was opened or a cabinet or who did it. I don't remember those details. Those were not relevant details to me in the moment because who opened a cabinet or a door or it.
Why is your testimony different today than it was?
It isn't. And I'm recalling it to the best of my ability for something that happened 2.5 years ago, that I hadn't slept and that I was scared to death.
So when I asked you back in February last year, so you went in there, how did you get into the apartment? You said, I don't remember.
Oh, well, that was for the second time. And I don't remember.
And you're saying that you went back into the apartment 2 or 3 times?
Yes.
After you had gone through Jason's apartment, well, let me ask this, how many people went into Jason's
I
apartment?
don't know.
You don't know?
I can't count that I was there.
Who else?
Gabby and Travis. I don't know who else, if anyone else went in.
And after you found Jason's belongings in there, you called the police.
Yes,
How many police officers responded?
2 or 3.
Did any of those officers go inside?
Yes,
Were you aware that they were wearing body cameras?
I wasn't.
Would you remember what the apartment looked like when you went in on that day?
No, I can't say that exactly. I would.
Could we get that? That's not.
Everybody wants to stand up and stretch, and do so. You got one, too.
Your Honor, that's ready to proceed.
You've already proceeded.
Can we approach, Judge?
Sorry, Judge, the technology seems to quit on me.
We've been wrestling with it all morning to take time.
What's happening?
Interacting with law enforcement.
And what are you talking about?
I don't know. I have no idea what we're talking about.
You remember officers, Chattanooga police officers entering into Jason Chen's apartment while you're standing there in the hallway?
I honestly,
Officers officers, Chattanooga police officers entering into Jason Chen's apartment while you're standing there in the hallway?
I honestly, I've spent over 2 years trying to cope and deal and not think about every moment of that night. In all fairness, I don't remember.
So you wouldn't remember what the apartment looked like if I were to show you a video of it?
I would remember some of it, I'm sure, but to be able to recall every detail of the apartment, no, I couldn't.
You said that you didn't do anything around the apartment, did you?
No,
Do you know anyone else that did?
I don't know.
Did anyone, and what the state described as your search warrant, do you know that they went into the apartment without you?
I don't know.
Has anyone told you they did around things in Jason's Chen's apartment to make it look more incriminating?
No.
Officer Bracey and Officer Creighton went into Jason Chen's apartment after you went in, correct?
Okay.
Is that right?
I don't remember the officers' names that were in there, but
What officers went in there?
correct.
Why would the apartment look different after the police went in there than when they were in there? Who changed?
I have no idea.
Katrina, to what extent would you have gone to find your daughter? Did you believe that she could have been in Jason Chen's apartment that day?
Yes,
Did you believe at the time that there could be things in the apartment that could lead you to your daughter?
yes,
Are you aware? Do you know whether or not Mr. Chen went to his apartment after you entered his apartment?
I don't know.
Recross.
You said you would do anything to find your daughter?
Wouldn't you?
Of course.
Okay.
But you would break into an apartment,
To find my daughter? Yes.
you would lie to police,
I was just trying to find my daughter.
you would perjure yourself under oath.
I haven't perjured myself.
Other questions?
Regret.
Nothing further, Judge.
Does the jury have any questions for Mrs. Bean? Ms. Bean, you may step down. Our next witness.
Your Honor, the state will call Officer